American Horror Story is a horror anthology series on FX created by Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk and released in 2011. Although, instead of releasing a completely new story weekly like most anthologies, it instead releases a completely new story by season, so it might be hard to review the series as a whole because of this. So I'll just be talking mostly about Murder House, the first season, and some of Asylum, maybe some of Asylum the following season, since those are the only ones I've seen so far. And I've admittedly only seen some of Asylum. Anyway, let's start the review. The premise of Murder House revolves around a family called the Harmons who move into a new house as a way to start over. However, upon their stay at the house, they discover that it has been nicknamed the Murder House, after all the tragic events that occurred to every family while that has stayed there. So this obviously makes it a very popular house. However, once they discover the horrifying secrets behind the house, and why no one has survived it very long, their lives start to take a more sinister turn. I love the way this premise plays out because it's just so different from any other haunted house story I've seen. Instead of being more focused on the characters, it also focuses on the backstory of all the ghosts that have died while living at the murder house. So that makes the plot a lot more interesting, given that it leaves a lot of room in terms of suspense, tension, and mystery. And boy, does it more than deliver. Not only did these ghosts die in horrible ways, but the fate waiting for them after is even more unnerving. I give premise an A+. Very original in a lot of areas. Next category is characters, and they were very interesting. Obviously, some of these ghosts did some very horrible things, but what makes them the most engaging was the fact that it would not only show you what their past was like, but also what they did as well as what drove them to their sins. It's not so much the fact that they're ghosts that's the creepiest part. We are not that scary, believe me. It's more because of their characters. Because of their character. Some of them are very sadistic and brought a lot of pain while they were alive. Like Evan Peters' character, Tate for example. As for the Harmons, it's nice to see them grow together as a family, especially since they do start out somewhat distant, but then slowly start to come together. Anyway, I give characters an A. Next is humor, and I will say that it not only balances it well with the horror, it also serves as a great release from it as well. Obviously, this is a season involving death, so of course there will be some sad moments, but some of the ghosts are straight up trolls. Some of them will do everything they can to screw with our protagonists. They are a riot for real. I give humor a B+. Anyway, next category is acting. And for Murder House is alright. I do think the next season, Asylum, does have a little better acting, but this one was okay. I do have to give credit especially to Taissa Farmiga, hopefully I'm saying that right, for giving a very real portrayal of the anxieties and as well as pressures that teens face every day, such as school, relationship with parents, as well as peer pressure. These are a lot to juggle with as a kid, and the way she conveyed it can what it can do to someone sometimes is very impressive. I also have to give credit to Jessica Lange for her portrayal. She really put everything in her role. Her character did not have a happy past at all, let me tell you. And wow, does she show it? Because the way she portrays her character makes it seem like not only has she not gotten enough sleep, but also has been slowly going insane because of her horrifying past. It really did make me sympathetic for her in some ways. I give acting A+.
And now, directing. As mentioned before, Ryan and Brad take a very unique turn with this show. Not only is it done in a totally different format from other anthologies, but it takes a unique turn with its ghosts as well. When you see them, some look like they are rotting, others have their faces totally mangled. Others, however, just look perfectly fine, which not only left a lot of room for a more psychological experience, for example, holy shit, is this person, living or dead, but also some very unexpected plot twists. I still will never forget how shocked I was when I saw the last few episodes of Murder House. Still have to finish Asylum, as I said. Also, not a lot of scary moments happened this season, aside from the shooting. But with Ryan and Brad's character-driven writing, that makes you realize that the scariest part of all this is what some of the ghosts have done, in what they are capable of. Sorry, lost my place on the paper there. Good job in terms of horror, not so much in terms of eeriness. In fact, I wish would have gotten more scenes that conveyed the feeling of something bad about to happen, which is why the school scene haunted me so much. Other than that, I give directing an A-. Very interesting approach. Overall, American Horror Story is a very interesting show so far. I still admittedly have to finish the following season, as I said. But it is pretty intense from what I can tell. It really does show some of the horrors that were practiced at some of those places back then. Another cool part of the show is the fact that some of the seasons are supposedly all the seasons actually are connected in some way, supposedly. Another exciting part of the show was waiting for the next season to come out. I speak in past tense only because I fear that this show won't be with us, very long in terms of new eps. I only say this that since the recent seasons, from what I've heard, have not gotten a very good rap at all. But if this is the case, it's better to pull the plug before it, starts to rot. Anyway, I give American Horror Story an A. It is a very well made series with some pretty clever writing. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and sub for more content.